Hi guys, this is Andy Evans, part 35 of making a guitar in your garage. I'm just wet and dry sanding this guitar. I just thought I'd show you a bit of it as I'm going, the technique I do and everything to get it flat and to polish it. As I was saying in my last podcast, I start with 1200 grit on a wet and dry on a block like this. I spray it with some soapy water. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this flat, so it's totally matte. I don't know if you can see that, it's a bit shiny at the moment. So I'm trying to get it totally matte without any uneven surfaces. So the only uneven surfaces are the shiny bits that you can see, So eventually I get this all matte and flat, no orange peel. I finish off with 1500s and then I polish it. So I'll just show you what I'm doing at the moment. I mean, this is a carved top, so you have to be quite careful with the block. You have to pay attention on the edges. What you don't want to do is go through a layer of lacquer, because if you go through a layer, you'll see it as you polish it. You'll see a sort of whole thing. So I rub in circles like this, As I say, pay attention to the edges. Certain bits I'll have to do by hand, in here, but I'll start it with this, get it flat. The flatter it is, the more they shine. If you've got ripples and unevenness, orange peel they call it, then it's just doesn't look right, You can do this with an orbital sander, with a foam backed orbital sander, but you can also go through a layer of lacquer doing it. So I'm being very careful doing it by hand. Every now and again I wipe the water off and then have a good look and see what's going on, There's some shiny bits around here. So basically the whole guitar like that. If you want a full gloss shine, that's what you do. A good idea is to have a nice, just one workbench set up for doing this with lots of towels on it and stuff like that. This one I've got is not really ideal, because I'm in my garage. Need to build another bench really just for this job. A good idea is keeping your sandpaper in folders. Just like don't mix your sandpapers up, Keep your 1200 in a folder like that. Keep it away from any grit. The last thing you need is a little piece of grit in your sandpaper, and it puts a big scratch in the front of it. So basically, when you've got it all sanded and flat and every little imperfection out of it, I use a polishing machine on my orbital sander with a foam back pad, some 3M fast cut, and I polish it like that. I also do a bit by hand, just depending, things like this. If you haven't got a wall-mounted polishing machine, you'd have to do this by hand, wet and dry sand and polish with a rag in here. The microfiber cloths are quite good, The finer you sand it with sandpaper, if you go to like 2000 grit, maybe even more, it'll be a lot quicker to polish. So if you're going to do a lot of hand polishing, you go with really fine sandpaper, go to like 2000 grit, and that's the way you do it. I'm going to polish in between these frets as well. This has got the gold Evo frets in, so it should look quite nice when it's all polished up. Alright, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll get this polished up, show you when I've finished. It's a good, expect doing this at home. If you haven't got all the correct machines, it's a good 2.5 hour job, to get it sanded and polished. But take your time, especially on these edges. The sharp edges I don't really touch at all, maybe very, very light, very fine sandpaper, just one pass, and that's how I polish the guitar. Okay, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next podcast when this will be all shiny, and don't forget to press the subscribe button.